Hey, 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 positive energy. This finds you all loving life today. Yesterday, which was Wednesday, March the 3rd, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Aline and I broadcast our second Souls Talking Brain live interactive show, which is broadcast on Ustream.tv's channel Being Love. The theme for our last show yesterday was Everything is Energy, and thus we are all one universal family. We went into that which is energy and how it is that we are all one universal family. And what I would like to elucidate upon today is how that transcends into our responsibilities for that which is within our current global society as well as our universal family. And to do so, I would like to open with a little quote by Deepak Chopra. Deep bows of gratitude to Deepak for his infinite wisdom that he shares with and for the benefit of all. And I'm just going to read the quote, so as my eyes look down, I'm not ignoring you. Evil is not our enemy. It is the projection of our collective shadow. So our collective shadow, similar to collective being universal family. Shadow is representative of evil in this situation, and what we're going to talk about a little bit today. It's a bit of an uncomfortable conversation for most people, and it's uncomfortable because it requires that we take a very honest look at members of our society that we might otherwise deem to be less than, deficient in some way, immoral, and definitely when we are so doing, separate and distinct from ourselves. Those amongst us who would not be characterized as criminal, for example. When you take into account the fact that we are all one, when you take into account the fact, the truth, that we are one universal family, that means that if somebody 3,000 miles away is committing some heinous act, they, being part of the one that is I and the one that is you, and thus all of we, are another reflection of we, acting in a manner by which we do not approve of, nor would we want to associate ourselves with. Unfortunately, whether we want to associate ourselves with this person or not, we are, by virtue of our beingness, inherent to the nature of all that is, not only associated with this individual, but we are one and the same on a quintessential universal basis with respect to the fact that all is one and we are all energy. Okay, so we take a big deep breath now because that's so difficult to take onus for. It's definitely not something that anybody wants to take onus for. It's difficult enough taking onus for the things that you do that you know that you're not happy about yourself, let alone what someone else does. Seriously. But unfortunately, the fact that somebody has the impetus to perform, create some kind of a criminal act is one thing. The fact that they actually do it is another. Both, however, are a result of the fact of that which exists within the collective consciousness of the all. Thus, somebody who is committing a criminal act, and we can choose the guy 3,000 miles away or the girl who's, let's say, committing murder. So we'll say the murderer exists because we allow the murderer to exist. I know it's heavy. It's heavy. Let's take a moment and just relax and breathe with that one. But it's true. So they exist because we allow for the behaviors and the actions that we allow for to exist that they are able to exist. If we lived in a world, which I'm sure everyone is saying, oh, that's impossible in 2 minutes once I've said what I have to say. But if we lived in a world where there was no war, war was simply not an option, where there were no guns, there was no armory, there was no types of machinery that was utilized for the purposes of inflicting harm and pain unto another human being or any species of the earth school. If this was the world that we lived within, then a person who had the impetus for murder by using one of these means, let's say, we'll keep it very specific to if they had the impetus to kill via a machine that has the ability to so do, it would never even enter their mind to do it because the machines wouldn't exist. It wouldn't be a part of the reality within which they live. But we've made that reality possible by having all of these different aspects exist. And so it is for all of we to take responsibility for that which exists and for the means by which we operate on a global level as a global universal society and family. And of course now everyone is wondering, well, how the hell are we going to fix any of this? Wars go on. It's not a decision made by me or you sitting in our homes all on our own doing our things. And yet it is. And that's how we begin. We begin with the yous and the me's. We begin sitting in our homes and beginning to make decisions that are love-based decisions for the benefit of all. And in so doing, the energy that we are sending forth is of a loving nature, as well as the actions that we are affecting others with. So I leave you with a little inspiration and motivation.